All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get going here. I'd like to wish everyone a good morning, first of all, and I want to thank you for joining us today, both here in person and for those joining us online for this very exciting rural transit announcement. Today's announcement is a major step towards our government's commitment to an island-wide public transit system. I would like now to call on Premier Dennis King to officially make this announcement. Premier?
Well, thank you, Minister. Good morning, bonjour, quay, to all of those in attendance here in person or who are joining us online. It's great to be back in my hometown. I don't get here nearly enough, as my family reminds me daily, but it is good to be here, and just want to thank and welcome Minister Aylward, Minister Myers, Mayor Ed of Three Rivers. Ed McCauley and I go way back, and I do want to take the time to commend him for the job he's doing as the inaugural mayor of the amalgamated communities that now make up Three Rivers. It's been like the job I'm in. It's been not without its challenges, Ed, but I think we've persevered and we're on the right track, and it's due in no short part to your leadership. So I want to thank you for that and encourage you to keep up the good work. As I say, I'm pleased to be here this morning in very beautiful hometown Georgetown to announce what is the first phase of our island-wide public transit system. Today, in partnership with T3 Transit and Kerry, we are announcing 2 new routes in Eastern PEI beginning on October the 12th. With 3 round trips a day during peak travel hours Monday to Friday, these new public transit routes will allow Islanders to connect with work, school, and essential services while helping to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So whether you live in Vernon River, work in Charlottetown, or live in Morel and want to visit loved ones in Surrey, or live in Cardigan and want to study at Holland College and many of its campuses across PEI, it will now be possible to rely on public transportation to get to where you need to go. Today's announcement is an important step forward in our province's goal to develop an island-wide integrated public transportation system, something that we have heard loud and clear that is greatly needed for the continued renewal of our province. Broadening public transit, in particular in rural Prince Edward Island, was a key recommendation of the Premier's Council for Recovery and Growth. As it was stated at many of the meetings we had, as we need to look toward new and innovative ways to tackle the challenges we face coming out of the pandemic, and as well to look and work together as we chart a better road and a cleaner road forward together. These new routes will lay the foundation for the future growth of an island-wide transit system where we will grow on-demand service, picking you up at your doorstep and connecting you with these routes to travel the island. A system where electric school buses will be utilized in our communities outside of their hours of transporting students to schools to connect with these main routes. This is about an island commitment, our island commitment to a better environment. The system will be instrumental in moving our province forward and helping us to reach our ambitious goal to be the first province in Canada with net zero emissions by 2030. For PEI to significantly reduce its transportation emissions, we have to change how we move from place to place and ensure accessible, affordable, safe, and reliable public transportation is an option for all islanders. This is also a key recommendation of the province's poverty reduction plan. Having a public transportation system is essential for individuals who cannot afford a car to be able to get to work and keep their jobs and to move around the island safely and efficiently. It's also about opening up the possibility to allow them to reach potential jobs outside of their current area of where they live. I'm happy to announce that these 2 routes will only cost $2. as we started to call it in the office, and perhaps it will be referred to that going forward, but Toonie Transit means that these new routes that we are announcing today, in addition to the existing route operated by County Line Express from Summerside to Charlottetown, will only cost $2 a trip. That's less than a cup of coffee. For a toonie, you can get from Georgetown to Surrey to visit a loved one. For a toonie, you can go from Charlottetown to St. Peter's to attend class at the UPEI Center for Climate Change and Adaptation. For just a toonie, you can get from Montague to Charlottetown just in time for your shift at your local place of work. And while this is a major step forward, it's not our only step in the journey of providing reliable, affordable, and accessible transit across our province. By early 2022, we plan to have our West Prince Route established, connecting communities from Tignish to Summerside and all points in between. The continued strength of our province relies on creating new opportunities for islanders and for our communities. Local and intercommunity transportation services will link workers to jobs, students to schools, shoppers to stores, and islanders to essential services that they need to enhance their quality of life. This is a great announcement, and I know in talking with Mike Cassidy and Matthew from T3 Transit, easy for me to say, that they feel this is going to put PEI at the top of the heap and be the envy of all of their partners and competitors all across the country. And I'm excited to hear that. I'm excited by the energy and the diversity of thought and innovation that exists here in this province, which is all underlined by an unwavering commitment to work together to make this province the best that it can be. So this is a great announcement. I want to thank Minister Aylward and Minister Myers and all of their staffs who have worked so hard with so many partners, with Kerry, with T3, with so many others to make this happen today. We're answering the call to encourage the further growth of population in rural Prince Edward Island. We're working to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and to make our environment healthier and better. And we're dealing with challenges that many in our society face when it comes to poverty or barriers to employment or access to service. So we're doing a lot here today. It's just the beginning. I want to thank all of those who made today possible and look forward to continuing the great work in the days ahead. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Premier King. That certainly was a great announcement, as he alluded to as well. It checks off quite a few boxes of what this government, led by Premier King, wants to accomplish and will accomplish. An integrated public transportation system is part of my department's mandate, as set out by the Premier. And I want to give out a shout out to the many individuals who have been working to make this announcement possible. Some of those people are here with us today, including staff in my department and the Department of Environment, Energy and Climate Action. I thank them for what they've been able to accomplish for Islanders, and I want to recognize our partners on today's announcements. As already mentioned, Mike Cassidy with T3 Transit, and Len Curry is here as well from Kerry. Welcome. As we know, Prince Edward Island is full of hard-working, experienced business and community leaders. And by partnering with these individuals, our provincial transit system can be a reality much more quicker and easily. The availability of safe, convenient, accessible, and affordable public transit options for Islanders is truly a game changer. And today, really, it's just the beginning. It starts here in Eastern PEI with these 2 rural transit routes, but it also extends to the County Line Express from Summerside to Charlottetown. And as the Premier alluded to, in early 2022, it will include operations in Western PEI as well. The province will look at what we can do to support other organizations as well as we move forward and build on this system. We want to make choosing public transit an easy and obvious choice for Islanders, to make living in rural PEI and working in the city, or vice versa, possible and convenient. We want to continue to revitalize our island communities, modernize our infrastructure, and build for a better tomorrow so our communities become more connected and more sustainable. Having reliable public transit for all Islanders will have widespread benefits, including reducing our carbon footprint and reducing transportation barriers for rural islanders. I would like now to invite Minister of Environment, Energy and Climate Action to say a few words. Minister Myers.
Well, good morning. This is an exciting announcement for me, not just because of the targets that it's going to help us meet in the environment, but because this is where I live in rural PEI, and it's always been important to me that we make rural PEI a possibility for everybody to live and work. The first phase of the public-wide transportation system is going to be important to the reduction of our emissions. The Premier talked about transportation being our number one emitter, and because of that, it's something that we have to tackle heavily as we have through our EV targets. This is the next stage of that, where we're going to offer public transportation and an opportunity for people to take it at a $2 rate, which is an amazing price point for people to get into Charlottetown or Surrey or wherever they need to go. But at the same time, it's going to help us reduce our transportation emissions, which is going to help us meet our 2030 goals and inevitably going to help us reach our 2040 goals. Through the work of, I know that Alex and Paul are here. I know that they've done a lot of work in this file with Minister Aylward's department and certainly the staff in my department who have worked towards putting together our component of this file. I want to thank them as well, because quite frankly, we wouldn't be able to do this without strong and competent staff in the department to do it. So I hope to see everybody take this opportunity to use our public transportation system to get where they need to go, whether it's to Charlottetown on a shopping trip or if it's to go somewhere to work or to visit loved ones. This is an opportunity to do it at a reduced rate, all the while helping us meet our targets for 2030 and 2040 to be net zero. So thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Stephen. And I want to especially thank Minister Myers for his part in ensuring that the public transit can and will be affordable and realistic for all islanders. The changes that we make to how islanders travel will have a positive impact on our environment. And today's announcement and the continued growth of our island-wide system will mean new and expanded possibilities for our communities, especially our rural communities. This concludes the formal aspect of today's announcement. I want to thank you for all joining us today. For the media in attendance, we will be taking a few photos here and then certainly be available for any questions that you may have. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for coming, and don't forget to jump on the bus. Thank you.